Hello and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be turning into Jill Valentine from Resident Evil, specifically Resident Evil 3, the most iconic of her outfits, I'm sure. Here's some pictures of it. I wore it to Comic Con, so this is me getting ready before that day. If you want to see a full tutorial how I do the makeup, the hair and the outfit, keep watching. Okay, so first things first, we've got to do some prep. That involves getting my hair out my face, which is quite long now, isn't it? I didn't realise I was ginger when I filmed this. Putting a few wig caps on to squish it all down, and then we've got to do some boobies, because mine are not this big, and it's a prominent part of the outfit. There I am, just completely mutilating the nipples, because I thought it was a bit obscene before I did that. Okay, so first things first, before we do the makeup, onto the hair. So here's a wig that I do like. This is a green one that I quite enjoy. So I'm going to just turn my brown one into that. So I was using the green one as a reference, seeing how it measured up on my head. This brown one, she's a lovely brown wig, but I never wear it, so let's just cut it short. Here I am cutting a big bulk of the length off. Nice. Went very well. Right now, kind of looks a little bit like a child bob. Looks a bit too lovely and innocent, but it's a good starting point. So now what I'm going to do is going in, reducing the length, and just kind of making it shorter and finer and sleeker. And now I also want to make it really thin. This is a long wig that was quite thick. It's not going to look that good as a short wig. It's going to look like there's too much hair. Oh, there you go. There's just me proving that I'm just relatable and things can go wrong. So I'm going to spend a lot of this time thinning it out. So I've pinned up the top bit of the hair, thinning that out, and now all of that thin stuff, that's my main length of it, I'm going to separate that, and that means all this top stuff, this is just extra layerage, and I can cut this to whatever length I want, to be honest, because the wig is going to be the same length. So I'm going to go very heavy-handed with the layering and thinning it out, because I want it to be really thin, because then it'll just sit more like real hair rather than a wig. So there we go. Take that all down, and now we're going to work on the fringe. I do like Jill's fringe. She's got kind of just a simple fringe going on, frames her face nicely, goes to the side with a nice little parting, some little bits that hang in front of her face, and then let that all down. It's got quite this fun little flick to it. Here I am reinforcing the parting. I want a side parting. The wig started off with a centre parting, so I'm just going to go in really aggressive. Now I'm using some straighteners to make it sleek and straight, and well, it's just gorgeous. Isn't that just so satisfying and nice to watch? Does give it a little bit of extra length, so of course I'm going to straighten it and then go back in with the scissors and just fine tune it and make it just all like one length, one really sleek, fashionable bob like in the original. Definitely prefer her original hair more than the remake hair. Both are fine. So now I'm going to go and make it look a bit more human, because this is a synthetic wig. So I'm using some baby oil to make it just look all wet and damp, putting it in the roots as well so it's nice and kind of flat and all just sits down and doesn't just stick up like a wig. I'm going to use some root boost spray just to kind of give it a bit more structure, and a lot of mousse so I can also give it some structure, because I really want to be able to sculpt this in a way that I want. I also don't mind if it has that wet hair look to it. I kind of like that wet hair look, and it makes it look a little bit more human. Lifting, running that through the hair, and now I'm putting some really strong gel on the parting just to really like glue that parting into place, and running it through as well my baby oil soaked hands so it can just kind of sit in the fringe, and that's just some styling. Now some wig shine spray, make it shiny, and there's the finished wig. Wow. So now anyway, back onto the makeup. We're going to start by hiding our eyebrows. You know the score with this one. Just use some glue and make them disappear completely flat to your face. Layers and layers of this will do. Now I'm going to throw some primer on, rub that right in, and then we can get started. Do some colour corrector, because Jill does not have a stubble or a moustache or a 5 o'clock shadow, unfortunately. So now I'm going to go in with my foundation stick and make myself just one colour, and just throwing that all in. It's going to be a long day, so I'm keeping that in mind. I think I was in drag for about 22 hours at this point. No, wait, 27. Yeah, 27 hours altogether. It was a very long day, but I made it well. So I'm doing some contouring because I want to look very dramatic, like a kind of comic book character, video game character, come to life, and then a little bit kind of like Rule 34, sexy deviant art, fan art of that character, but a drag queen, but sexy, like them statues you see, or like them like OnlyFans models dressed cosplaying as people. That's my vibe. That's why I don't mind looking like I'm wearing too much makeup. So doing some sculpting on the face because I have to do that to look feminine anyway, but I'm going to bring it over the top because I'm a drag queen. Drag Queen Jill. It's fine and it's sound. So, there we go. Continuing to hide the eyebrows and then going in with our contrast. Light cheeks, dark forehead, dark jaw. We're just kind of creating a feminine face. It's all about the cheeks and pulling out certain bits and making other bits recede. I've got plenty of tutorials on facial feminization if you want to check those out so you can see more about the actual theory behind all this. Right now I'm just focusing on looking fierce, snatched, big-eyed, glamorous and beautiful. You can see I've also made my nose look tiny. Here I am just sketching out some basic blueprints for the eyes before I go in and draw my eyebrows on. I like to do that with a pencil. It's just nice and easier. Drawing on completely new eyebrows because I'm not having the internet call me Michael Jackson again like I did with Claire. That was not a good time. I'm just going to draw them on. Have completely drawn on eyebrows. And I like them to be nice and thick. Thin enough so it still evokes the 90s, but thick enough that I'd still look pretty cool. This is a really fun part, cleaning up underneath the eyebrows. I do enjoy doing that. It's just like so satisfying and white and clean. And it also helps me make them symmetrical. And that's important. So, that's again a blueprint for the eyebrows. This is just while I'm in the cream stage of the makeup, so it's easy to kind of go in and correct these things. There I am blending it, making it an ombre, and going in with more white because I like a lot of contrast on my cheeks. We're going to do all of the fine details once I've set the face. That's what I'm doing now. Set the contours with contours, set the lights with lights, and set the rest of the face with a mid-tone powder. And then, once you're all well and dry, we can then move on to the fine detailing. Of course, here I am putting that white powder under my eyes. This is also going to help catch fallouts from all of the excess eyeshadow that's going to be, while also just brightening my cheeks and making me look like I've got the most full, youthful, gorgeous, beautiful cheeks. Blend away the excess, and now I'm going into the eyes. Starting off with a pencil, and I'm also going on my lower waterline. I don't do that very often, but I think it's pretty good. I just want to look like I've got these sultry, sexy, dark eyes. Going in with a crease. I'm using warm brown colours. I'm very inspired by kind of Julia Roth's big, warm, kind of bulbous frog eyes, very similar to like what I've got. So I don't mind putting a lot of eyeshadow on. It's going to make my eyes just look really like nice and big and dark, but almost sore, but very present. And I like to use oranges and browns and warm colours because it's both in and cool and fashionable, but then also kind of realistic. It's not like I'm using pinks and blues. Again, I like to put that under my eye on the kind of eye bag bulge, just to help that match in. So here I am, pulling in what's going to be the eyeliner with a dark shadow, so then the wing of the eyeliner just blends into our eyelid, almost seamlessly, just adding more and more and more layers of contrast and darkness and dark colours. Slightly warmer browns as I go in, blending out every single step as I go. And now it's finally time to go in with the black shadows. So the black just kind of makes it all come together and in such a beautiful, gorgeous way, while also giving me these lovely, dark, present eyes. And I'm also bringing it slightly into the crease and on the lower waterline, just so it sells a consistent colour story. And of course, once again, blend as you go, with every step. There's a lot of blending, it's a lot of brushes, and a lot of shades of brown. So now I'm using a kind of shifty, iridescent eyeshadow on just the middle and the insides, just to make my eyelids look glossy and wet, and add further contrast to the dark browns. And now I'm going in with my liquid eyeliner that's on a felt tip, just to reinforce and redefine the eyeliner. That's the selling point and what is going to define our eyes and determine the actual size of them. I've got to do my very feline inner flicks because it just makes me look fierce, makes my eyes look cool and long and wide and sleek, while also stopping them looking like they're too far apart. Bringing some of that detailing onto the bottom as well now, and as well as throwing it into my waterline for a truly black, tight-lined look. And now the details of the wings. Throwing on some mascara to finally seal the deal and make it all make sense because I've got blonde eyelashes. Dust off the excess because yes, we are done with all of the eyeshadow now. And then I can go into the eyebrows, give myself some dark brown eyebrows to match the wig, match the hair, using the stencil that I drew on before. These aren't even eyebrows, but luckily I've got a side parting in my hair, so you're not really going to tell. Now I'm just going into doing the details, doing an ombre. I like to be dark on the outside, lighter in the middle, with some sparse hair detailing in the centre, so it looks like real eyebrows. And of course, some more highlight underneath, because it just really helps define it and looks gorgeous. Some blush, so we look a little bit more alive and not just completely grey-faced. Not that there's a problem with that. Oh, and now the lips. It's very hard for me to get this bit on camera. I never seem to do this part quite right. But I'm using a nice brown lip liner. I'm very inspired by typical 90s fashions and that 90s lip where it was a dark liner and a brown kind of centre. Kind of like Lara Croft, you know the way she had these like nice brown lips? I'm kind of inspired by that. I thought this nude that I started off with was a little too light, so then I went in with a red. Though I must have gone in with a brown on top of the red or something, because I do not remember my lips staying this red. But it kind of all comes together at the end to just look like a natural brownish look. Time for the body now, there we go, all done. Hips and all together, that's what it's a lot of work that goes underneath this to create this drag body. Now I'm trying on all my different outfits. I have many options for the Jill bodysuit. First was just the bodysuit, that would be good for the remake Jill. Then there's this tube top, a bit classic but a bit simple. Next is this one with a much more interesting top, and this is what I would have wanted to wear. And it's a bodysuit, so I just think it's cool and sexy. And it holds the girls in place, but not well enough, because you can see I've tried it on here with the skirt, and things just kept falling out and it wasn't working. I tried the normal tube top on underneath it to see if that would work, but it didn't work, so I just thought, we'll just use the normal tube top, which to be fair, it's the most accurate in colour anyway. Throwing on a skirt, which of course is PVC this time because we're Jill, but a sexy, silly fan art version of Jill. Throwing on all the holsters, which really help hide the lines of the breastplate. There we go, I'm like a mashup of 3 and remake 3 Jill. There we go, putting some more detailing in the wig just to make it look a bit more fine and perfect, and I think it sits on me really well. What do you think? Here's the finished look, and here's the finished outfit, and of course got them boots as well. A high heel, gotta have Jill on a high heel. And here's me posing anyway. Let me know your thoughts, leave a comment below, like the video if you liked it, and if you like me, check me out on all social media, you can find it all in the description, and for now, subscribe to the channel for future videos, check out all my older videos. That's all from me. Thanks, bye.